All right, legends, are we live? Let me just see if if the feed is coming through. Yes, it looks like the feed is coming through now. Legends, it seems that Twitter or X is the issue because I usually stream to both YouTube and to Twitter, and I just kept on getting error messages today, and it seems that now I've removed Twitter from the live feed. Now I'm here. Now I'm here. It looks like the feed's coming through. YouTube is working perfectly fine. Let's not smoke our socks today. Can we get a bounce here to the upside, legends? I do see a lot of fear in the markets today. Right, well, actually, over the last couple of weeks, there was a little bit of hopium with this bounce that we got here to the upside, right? Are we going to make that A, B, C, D, E, and break out of here? That scenario has now been invalidated. Right, can we still form that contracting diagonal? A little bit early to tell, but then you're not allowed to take the low. And we already bounced here on the 0.9. Okay, can we still form a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ABC and then continuation here to the upside? Legends, let me make it clear, right? This scenario carries a 5% probability. So when I say something carries low probability, just to put it into perspective, from a percentage perspective, this scenario carries 5% probability. And once the fourth wave is in right over there, then it will jump up to about 45 to 50% probability. But there's still a lot that can happen before we get over here. Right, legends. So I know I have been highlighting this scenario as the only bullish case scenario. And then we had that, what if this is an A, B, C, D, E, but that was the low that needed to hold, or this was the low that needed to hold. And we were looking at that 786 level that did not get a reaction. Nada, right? No reaction. I want to see something here. Let me just minimize this, drag it across. Right, let me do this. Let's see if everyone can see this screen over here. Let me make this bigger. Make sure that everyone can see it. Yes, you guys can see. Right, so these were, let me go back to last week, okay? Right. Just want to see something here. This was one of the scenarios we were watching last week, okay? Where I told the legends this is the only longing scenario that I still see left on the cards if we are going to form that ABCDE and continue momentum to the upside. This is the zone, 786, point of control. There was a high volume node. But what I also told the legends, where was it? I also told the legends on Saturday. Yeah, this was on Saturday. Right? No reaction. Oh, remember, guys, no reaction, no trade. Can you guys see? I'm not sure if you guys can read that. I can't zoom in there, but I said, remember, no reaction, no trade. Saturday price action tends to be very boring. And then we continued sideways for the entire Saturday and Sunday morning, and price finally started to fall down, and there was no reaction at the 786. Right, legends, now we are where we are, okay? And it was this little structure that we were looking at over here. Okay, fib from the low to the high, and you can see no reaction. Okay, in fact, we fell down and we retested the area as resistance, and we continued. And remember what I say, guys, is that if you want to trade with limit orders, be my guest. Okay, but how do you manage risk properly? Right, I always tell everyone when I'm looking for a swing failure pattern from a specific level, if price, as long as price is trading below my area of interest because I'm looking for a long, I'm not interested. So I did not take this long. And even if I was in front of the chart, which I wasn't because I was spending some time with friends and family, I would not have taken this trade. Okay. If I was in front of the charts and I saw this reaction here by the 0.88, 0.9, maybe I would have taken the trade with good risk management. But when you hit resistance, you take profits. It's a small little move, very, very tiny little move. Often what does happen is you go back to the 0.618, then you take the low. But once you tap the 0.88, you guys can see you increase the probabilities of taking the low. And now we are where we are. So I want to go and analyze the structure. Let's You know, Bitcoin is still falling here to the downside. There is so much fear in the market at the moment. Can we go up? Can we go down? We are so close to this low over here. So in today's stream, we will analyze the price of Bitcoin and go and see, well, what is the scenarios that I'm currently watching to the upside and to the downside, right? There's a very, very, very important level to the downside. So stay tuned. Let me do the intro while I have some water.
Big move in Bitcoin then, in contrast to all the notes I wrote pre-show, which were telling me that this was going to put Bitcoin under pressure.
Yeah, the narrative that perhaps this launch of these political meme coins will sap flows from Bitcoin is showing us that's really not the case this morning. If anything, it's just accelerated the momentum and the excitement around cryptocurrency under another Trump administration.
Hi, 𝗖𝗿𝘆𝗽𝗍. What is all this FOMO about? Should I buy Bitcoin now?
Are you smoking your socks? You should rather watch my show. You should rather watch my show.
All right, legends, let's analyze the price of Bitcoin. Just go through and say hi to the beautiful community. Mr. 𝗬cie, right? I know you will be surprised. I have a secret to show you. I can honestly tell you, and I'm not saying that it is the case, but when someone in the crypto space starts a sentence with the word secret inside of it, I run very far and I don't look back, right? I've been scammed in the past. My family members have been scammed in the past. And usually where there's crypto and the word secret involved, that is usually a rug pull where people lose a lot of money. So I am not interested in any secrets, right? It needs to be legit. It needs to be Googleable. It needs to be ChatGPTable, right? I want to be able to see loads of information and not something that is a secret that's going to make you potentially a millionaire by investing some cash. Right, 𝗬cie, I'm not trying to come down on you, but I have learned very hard, right? If there's a secret investing community where you have to invest or they do trading signals for you or whatever the case might be, you run. You run for the hills. You do not give anyone any of your money, right? So I just wanted to also use this opportunity to let the community know there's no such thing as a secret community that you are going to invest in and become a millionaire, even if the platform shows you that you are making money. The trick is try and withdraw that cash. Maybe once, twice, you'll be able to withdraw some cash and then gone, right? So I'm just very, very careful, okay? And I could be wrong about your secret that you would like to share with me, but if you use the word secret together in a sentence with crypto, you will not get my attention, right? Yes, if you are a billionaire. Right, okay. Have you pressed Control-Alt-Delete? No, it was that Twitter is a problem. Right. Smoking socks, yes. S&P hitting oversold on the daily usually indicates a reversal. Definitely. I do think that Bitcoin is nearing a bottom. I do think that it's nearing a bottom. There is so much fear in the market. Sentiment is so low. There are so many people selling their portfolios, not just Bitcoin or some of their altcoins. I'm hearing of people that's been in the game for long that are selling their entire portfolios. That to me is a lot of fear. That is usually the best time to start accumulating, you know, because as an investor, you want to buy up the fear and you want to sell up the greed. There's no greed in the market at the moment. It's just fear. We're going down. We're starting a bear market to the downside. Right. But as a day trader, we trade the levels up and down. Okay. We long support. We take profits by resistance. We short resistance and we take profits when we hit support. So today we're going to identify those levels and right. Maybe do some live trading. Let's see. Maybe we can even do a live trade here together. Because I remember, I think this was inside of our Legends Pro community. We caught the low. We caught that low, right? Inside of our Legends Pro community. And then here on YouTube, we caught the short. Right, together. Well, I got stopped out because I was too defensive with my cash, okay? Anyways, legends, the rest is history. What's important right now is this. This is what's important right now. So what I would like to do now is just take a little step back, and then we can zoom in to the smaller time frame over here and analyze the price in terms of what are the high probable areas from a shorting and a longing perspective. Okay, let's go here onto the 4-hour time frame. Legends, there is still, okay, the probabilities for downwards momentum, unfortunately, is still higher than to gain upwards momentum to come and claim the high, right? There is, for now, a higher probability to claim the low before we claim the high again, right? Here at the bottom, you have a fib pool from the low to the high, and we've now tapped the 0.9, which ironically is a flat target. Okay, it is a flat target, but we will discuss those scenarios because I've had some very interesting conversations with some of the Legend Pro community members this morning. Legends, this is still a scenario that I'm looking at, and I know it looks a little bit messy, okay, but once I explain it, it makes complete sense. And did we front run that level, or did we tap that one? Oh, we tapped the 1-to-1 extension there, right? We tapped the 1-to-1 extension, and this was a level that I told the legends to pay attention to. Okay, so let's see if we can hold that level, right? So now, legends, from a 4-hour perspective, this could still be a WX that is not finished, and then we go down for a Y. So there's a chance, there's a small chance that maybe, just maybe, we do not claim this low just yet, which is going to frustrate. Can you imagine how this is going to frustrate the people saying that I'm looking at this low for potential swing failure pattern. I want to see the strength back above for a nice little juicy longing opportunity, and then price starts crawling here to the upside and even comes to claim $95,000. So there is a scenario where this can happen without claiming the low. But there's also the scenario where we're going to claim the 1.236 and the 1.618 before we get there. So those are some of the levels that I want to discuss here to the downside. We could be forming a much larger corrective structure to the downside, okay, purely from a timing perspective. Okay, a larger W, which is now finished, and this, whatever is happening over here, could be forming this little X wave over here. Okay, it is also known, if you didn't know a little bit of education, it's also known as a 3-3-5 wave corrective structure. 3-3-5. What does that mean? 3-3-5. Okay, it means that inside of your X wave, okay, if I go back here onto the 1-hour time frame, now we're zooming, you know, we're starting to zoom in. We zoomed out, we look at where we are in the structure, now we start to zoom in. If this potential 3-3-5 is going to play out, okay, this is the structure that I'm looking at, is that you have ABC, 3 waves. You have A, B, C, what is that? 3 waves. And then once you hit this C, either here, because these are C wave targets, 1-to-1 extension we've just tapped, that's a C wave target. 1.236, okay, still, we basically going to claim the low. And then we have an extended C wave target all the way down to $70,000. This can all be a C wave. We don't know where it is going to turn around. But these are the most important levels that you need to pay attention to from a C wave perspective. And then once you've made the 3-3, you then start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to go and complete your X. And then you can imagine how bullish the world's going to turn. We have a 5-wave structure to the upside. We are most likely going to get a 3-wave corrective structure and continue the bull run to the upside, only to smack back down in a Y wave to the downside and take the lows again. Bam. Right, so this scenario, unfortunately, at the moment of recording this video, based on the information that I have in front of me, carries high probability, okay, compared to the bullish case scenario that I've just shared, where we're going to form 3-wave structures to the upside, have a shallow corrective structure, and just continue the momentum. Okay, unfortunately, it has to be said that this scenario carries high probability. Right. It's not good that most of the bearish case scenarios actually carries the highest probability at the moment. So, legends, this is potentially the formation from this little point over here. Whatever is happening here more locally is potentially the formation of a X structure where you have 3, 3, 5. And then we could claim the highs. You're basically grabbing all of the liquidity, and you guys have seen on the liquidity heat map, there's a massive amount of liquidity over here. Let me go and open that up. Let's go see liquidity heat map. Let that load up on model 2, my favorite model to use. Let's go to the 1 week time frame. I think I might even have to zoom out a little bit more. Let's go to the 2 week. And I just want to make sure, let me show you guys the entire screen. Right. I mean, 95. Is this the high? $95,000? $95,000, $96,000. You guys can see massive amount of liquidity. And usually when you hit a pocket of liquidity like this, you do get a nice reaction back to the downside. So I wouldn't be surprised, okay, if we're going to bounce at those levels that I'm about to identify here at the bottom. This is a target. So it could be a nice little swing trade here to the upside to come and grab all of the liquidity above $95,000. It's going to make the world bullish, only to smack back down and go to $70,000 below. Right. So definitely something that we need to pay attention to. Okay, cool, legends. Now, the most important levels I've highlighted here to the downside is the 1-to-1 extension, where we're currently getting a reaction. We are getting a reaction at the 1-to-1 extension. This, ladies and gentlemen, let me just put my face here back onto the screen. This is a C-wave target. But I think what is more important is we will now go and analyze this little structure to see, well, can the C wave end over here? Does it need a little bit more momentum to the downside to come and tap the 1.236? Okay, I also see that a lot of people, and this is some of the conversations I had this morning in our Legends Pro community, there's a lot of eyes on this level. It's all over social media, right? Too many people, you know, do you guys know what I usually say? When too many people and there's too many eyes on a specific level, usually what happens is you get a front run to go and build the X, or you scare the crap out of them and you go to the next level. Okay, so let's go and analyze now the mini structure over here to see that, well, where are we? Can we find support where we are right now and start reversing back to the upside to go and create a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, complete the X wave, grab the liquidity at $95,000, and then, you know, that's potentially where I want to be looking for shorting opportunities once again. Okay, right, lots of comment. We can decide, right? If back down, it is a bear market. I fumbled so hard. Did you make a big bag today, Dewald? No, I actually, I wanted to short, guys. As I was doing my Legends Pro update this morning, I was here on the 5-minute time frame. Okay, and I was looking at this level to short, and I was busy doing my Legends Pro community update. And we were, yeah, I think we were here somewhere when I was doing my Legends Pro community update. And I told everyone, this looks like an A wave or a 1 wave. Okay. This retracement, very, very interesting where it ended. Okay. Because I was like analyzing the crap out of this structure while I was doing my update this morning. And when you zoom into this structure, let me just make it bigger so everyone can see. I mean, what a beautiful longing opportunity. Okay. So I'm measuring the corrective structure. So whether you take it from this high or this high, it basically hit the same level. So, you know, I want to measure the A, the B, and the C to the downside. And when I saw this, look at the retracement, 1.618 to perfection. That, my friends, was a longing opportunity, which I missed. Okay, I wasn't in front of the charts when this happened, But I was in front of the charts when this started happening. And this is where I was recording my update to the Legends Pro community. And I said, I still wanted to say, guys, here is the targets that I'm looking for a short. Okay, I took my fib from the low to the high to the low, and I said, Legends, okay, as I was doing the update, I like these pivots for a SFP. There's loads of liquidity. We have the 1-to-1 extension over there. I will also be looking at the 1.236 and the 1.618. And we got a beautiful swing failure pattern from the 1-to-1 extension while I was doing the update. So unfortunately, I could not take the short. Okay, I was busy recording. I was busy explaining like I'm doing right now. It's not always easy to jump into a short position while I'm explaining a potential trading setup. But this was the level identified, A, B, C. What was also interesting about that leg to the upside is if you go onto the 1 minute time frame, okay, because I wanted to see if C waves are 5-wave structures. Okay, look at this, beautiful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, done, right? And you're expecting a larger correction back to the downside. If you did not get in over here, you need to get in at the retracement, which was, yeah, that was your retracement. Okay, you miss the short, there's always another opportunity to get into the trade. You wait for the retracement. Okay, and there was insane bearish CVD building up between those two pivots. Right, and then we got the momentum here to the downside and we took the low. So the trading setup this morning played out, and I hope some of the legends was able to jump into that short, but I mean, I only posted the video afterwards. So, I mean, I know that some of the legends are absolute legends. They most probably already kept an eye on this level. So, or they got in here at the back test. Right, so now the rest is history, okay? What now? Here to the downside. So I think what I want to focus on now is this local move that we've now made here to the downside. Okay, so I don't want to stuff around here on the 1 minute time frame. What I'm now interested in is this little monstrosity here to the downside. From the high to the low. Can it like to be finished at the moment? Is the structure finished? And can we start building impulses back to the upside? Or are we still going to chop and chop and chop here to the downside until we eventually start turning around? Okay, like I said, legends, if you want to keep it simple, that 1-to-1 extension, if I open up the WXY, has been tapped. That was a beautiful swing failure. Look at this, right? If you are not sure, okay, I love to stick to the larger time frames. I'm not a big fan of the 5 minute and 1 minute time frame because it's so volatile and, right, you get a lot of fake outs. You need to, you know, put your trust in the larger time frame and identify your levels. Because if you got in over here, right, even if you got in a little bit late and you have your stop below the low, speculating on a reversal, you could now have already protected your position. You now have a free trade to the upside. And if it comes back down and it stops you out, you don't lose cash. That is why it's so important to treat these levels as SFP lines. If price gets acceptance back above, I will enter along with my stop below the low. If price moves up a little bit, guess what? There's Dewald protecting his position. If price does another chop here to the downside and stops me out, then I don't lose cash. That's why it's so important to me not to lose cash. Okay, I can be stopped out multiple times speculating on a reversal and not lose money, only pay the trading fees. Yes, it does sometimes happen. Okay, you enter a trade with your stop below the low, okay, and it stops you out with a loss. It does happen, and that's usually the first time you enter the trade where you take on the biggest amount of risk. Right, what I also want to look at is I also like to see a little bit of support from a CVD perspective. When I enter a swing failure pattern with my stop below the low and price moves in my favor, and price comes back for a retracement, it will be nice to see some strength building up here. Bullish CVD between those two pivots for continuation to the upside. So let's go and have a look at CVD. Let me refresh this. Wait for it to load up. Okay, so now let's look at this structure. Nothing. No bullish CVD, legends. No bullish CVD. Was this an A, B, flat, C here to the upside? And now it's continuing momentum to the downside. Definitely a possibility, because I can see as price, okay, look at this pivot. Look at that pivot. As price was grinding here to the upside, before it claimed the pivot, there was already bearish CVD building up, which tells me that there's a high chance you're going to reject again. Okay, and now between these two pivots, there's no strength. There's absolutely no strength. It's just very neutral here at the moment. But the bearish CVD between these two targets was the low, okay? So there's a high chance that we can still come and claim the lows based on what I'm seeing here from a strength or weakness perspective. Okay, right. So no strength at the moment, and I would have liked to see a little bit of bullish CVD building up. And right, it's just non-existent at the moment. And as soon as we're going to start tapping the 0.88, so when I go onto the 1 minute time frame, right, if you take a FIP pool, you know, this is always a little clue. When you start tapping the 0.88, let me just take that 0.9 out so it looks nice and clean. When you tap the 0.88, you increase the probabilities of taking the low, right? So as long as you do not tap the 0.88, you have a chance that you can go and claim the high. Okay, but this looks like it could be the end over here, and this looks like a flat corrective structure. A B that takes the low, that's a flat B, and then you have your flat C that takes the high. Right, I just want to see where did that reject. I mean, I am stuffing here on the 5 minute time frame. Yeah, I mean, a very shallow rejection. Okay, I just want to see something over here. Take this scribble out. I want to take that fib out the way. So I need to just zoom out to find my bearings, legends. So this is one of the scenarios. Let me switch that off and switch on my today analysis. Okay, so now this is the structure I want to focus on. So these are some counts that I did this morning to say that, well, can this be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? You can count this structure many different ways. You can even count this as an A, B, C, where this is the C wave, which has 5-wave structure. This is just a normal A and a B. You can also count it in 1, 2, 1, 2, and this is a 3, 4, 5, 4, 5 here to the downside. There's many ways in which you can count the smaller time frames. I prefer to stick on the larger time frames because you can confuse yourself. Okay, and it does take a lot of experience to super analyze the smaller structure over here. The point that I'm trying to make over here is if this is 4, okay, just looking at the larger structure, or even if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this could be an A, B, and a C flat back to the upside where I want to be looking for a short. Okay. Regardless of how you count the structure, I'm looking at the same levels for shorts and longs. That's the beauty about Elliott wave theory. Often I will tell the Legend Pro community, because some of them will count this as an A, B, and this is now a C wave to the downside. Okay, and then I will tell everyone, well, whether you're counting this as an ABC, okay, whether you are counting this as a WXY, whether you are counting this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm looking at the same levels for longing opportunities. And I'm looking at the same levels for shorting opportunities. Right, so if we do, I want to see why do I like to have this FIP pool? Okay, this is why I have this FIP pool. Legends, if this is, okay, this is the first area of interest. Looking at this 1, 2, 3, okay, which is done. This was the 4 here to the upside, the C wave that I've analyzed this morning. And now we are forming 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the downside. This little 1.236 and the 1.382, this little box over here between $78,965 and $78,368. This is a fifth target zone. And this is why I'm watching this area like a hawk over here, because you could still bounce in this zone over here without taking the low. And you could literally, you are creating a double bottom. You're creating a double bottom. And then you find continuation here to the upside. So you can see the most important level here is still aligned with the larger time frames. Okay. Let me just undo that. So in essence, I'm still looking for a swing failure from the low. It would be nice to get the swing failure from the low, but I will also be paying attention to these two levels over here. So in this zone, or one of these lines, is where I want to start seeing strength back to the upside, because it could literally just tap the low and start moving back up. Okay, it would be nice from a swing failure perspective to actually claim the low and then get the momentum back to the upside. But I'm very aware of a front running scenario over here. What if it does not do that and it just starts bouncing here to the upside, right? This is why I have these levels inside of this zone, which are, by the way, fifth wave targets. Okay, so if this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to calculate your fifth wave target, I took a fib from the low of 3 over here to the high. You reverse it and you get your target box for a fifth wave. The fifth wave can also tap the 1.618. So I will use these lines as swing failure lines. But to make it simple, what I'm looking for is a swing failure from the low. I want price to claim the low. That is the highest probable trade. I want price to smack back down, claim the damn low, and get acceptance back above. Regardless of the levels, you can wait for a swing failure from the low. Regardless of how you count the structure, I'm looking for a swing failure from the lows. Okay. If price does not show strength and it continues, remember what I said, okay? As long as price is trading beneath my area of interest, there's no trade. But I do have levels to the downside that I can use as swing failure lines. Okay, let me zoom into this structure. Let me switch this off so I can clean up the chart. I actually switched off a very important level there to the downside. Right, so you still have, I want to go back here onto the 30-minute, just make sure that I have my levels correctly marked out. And hopefully you will also see how I do the FIP pools over here. Dewald, we have an unfinished CME gap. Last, it almost filled at 78. Yes, I do know about the CME gap there to the downside. Okay. But we have levels. Okay. We have levels that I will be paying specific attention to. So I just want to make sure that you have these levels marked out so that you can pay attention. Do you guys know how we caught that long? Do you guys know how we caught this long here to the upside? Massive pump here to the upside. Whether it's a 3-wave structure, 5-wave structure, it was still a significant move here to the upside. We caught this long using Fibonacci levels, the 1.618, the 1.618. That was a 1.618. This was a 1.236 when I did the measurements to the downside. This was a longing opportunity. We bounced there, got this SFP and massive momentum here to the upside. This is why these levels are so important. Okay. Right. I want to go back here onto the 1 hour time frame. Now, legends, I think the most important level, okay, so let me take this out the way and just start very fresh over here and show you guys if this is, you know, we have to speculate on this scenario because it's the highest probable scenario. This is an ABC. There's no doubt about it. ABC, 3-wave structure. This could be a larger A, B, and this is now a C to the downside. And this is why I counted the structure from here as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The most important thing you have to know about the structure is that you can measure this target. Where could it potentially get a reaction? And that is where you need to pay attention. So this is where I took my trend-based FIB. If this is an A, B, and this is now the C wave, I can go from the top to the bottom, to the top, and this is where you have the one-to-one extension. Okay. You have the 1.236. Okay, by the way, these two levels are very, very common C wave targets. Okay, and then if we do get aggressive momentum to the downside, the 1.618. So I will treat these lines as swing failure lines. This little bad boy over here is where we caught that one. Okay, you have to pay attention. You see the price reaction at a level, the wick to the downside, you get acceptance back above, you enter with good risk management, you take profits at support, because I mean this bounce over here, if we do fall aggressive here to the downside, you know, you have to play out that what if scenario. What if, okay, we either get the successful bounce at the one-to-one extension, front running the low, okay, or we get the bounce at the 1.236 at $75,700. What I don't like about this level is that there's too many eyes on this level. So it's either the front run that I'm seeing over here, or it's scare the crap out of everyone and you get the 1.618 bounce, which is a C wave target. This is the one that scares the crap out of everyone. This is the one that no one wants to long. Okay. Right, legends, but you've got your three levels. These are the levels that I am paying attention to the downside. I want to see how price is going to react here, here, and here. I might be able to catch the epic long here that has the potential to even come and claim this high. This one has the potential to come and claim the high. This one has the potential to come and claim this high. I'm not looking for all-time highs, guys. You know, I'm looking for intraday trading setups, but I can tell you guys now, regardless of which level I catch, I will take profits on the way up, because it's never guaranteed that you're going to do this. Okay, when you start hitting resistance, this is massive resistance. That was an entire Saturday and Sunday consolidation area over here. Okay, you can see the resistance. You can see the line. Support, you lost it. Resistance, resistance, resistance. You lost it. You broke up, support, support, and then you consolidated at the zone. I will definitely, if this is my trading setup where I catch the long over here, or over here, or over here, this is a profit TP1, definitely a TP1. I'm not going to just hope for the best and hope we claim the high. And then it does this. Okay. As a technical trader and as a day trader, you need to long support and you need to take profits when you're hitting significant resistance. That's just how the game works. Okay. Right. Cool, legends. And remember, if you'd like to come and trade with me, the links for the exchanges that I use is down in the description. Okay, if you're not trading on one of these exchanges yet, all you need is an email and a password for weeks, and I've got Bluffin as well, email and a password. If you can register and verify yourself, I've got 𝗖𝗿𝘆𝗽 and 𝗞𝗍𝒄 as well. The biggest sign-up bonuses and lowest trading fees here on Weeks and on Bluffin. The more you trade, the more money gets airdropped into your account, and with Weeks, you get that 50% cash back up to $2,000. And then you get the $1,000 back. So, right, these are the two exchanges that I use from a day trading perspective, and 𝗖𝗿𝘆𝗽 and 𝗞𝗍𝒄𝒽. So, and also if you would like to come and join our Legends Pro community, here's the link down in the description. And then also I have the site for the CVD that I use over here. Okay, I have no affiliate to them whatsoever, right? I do not get any financial benefit whatsoever from promoting this link. But a lot of people ask me, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Well, I put it here in the description for you guys. There's it. Right. You would need to sign up to our free Discord to get the script so that it looks exactly the way that I've got it here with the 3 lines. Okay, cool. Legends, let me go through some comments. And I think what's important for me is that on one of my FIP pools, it looked like we tapped the 1-to-1. So I just want to make, you know, for me, it's very important that I have these levels exactly where they need to be. Okay. So I want to make double sure that these levels are exactly where they need to be. And based on this FIP pool, we have not tapped the 1-to-1 extension just as yet. So if I see this price action and it gets acceptance back above, right? That is for me a longing opportunity. Not if price is below my area of interest. If price is below my area of interest, this becomes my next longing opportunity, because then, you know, you could still get acceptance back above the 1-to-1 when you dip below the low, right? And then I have a better entry. That's why I'm looking at the low over here for potential swing failure. And if price is trading below, you got the 1.236 and the 1.618. The 1.382 is not a C wave target. C wave, extended C wave here to the downside. Okay. I'm not sure, legends. I mean, anything is possible. The market is here to surprise us. Okay. I don't know if we're going to get here to the 1.618. Definitely an area that I will pay attention to. And because looking at this structure, legends, is that if this is a, okay, there's a count for a 1-2 and a 1-2. And now all of this is 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or maybe it's still part of 3 here to the downside. Doesn't really make sense. But the simplest way is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Sorry, legends. I need to draw this out. Where is my little thing over there? There we go. The simplest way to do it is I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a wave 1. Because I'm speculating on this entire structure being a C wave. A C wave has to be a 5-wave structure. I know that there is the potential for double 1-2s here to the downside, but it can also be counted as just a simple 1, 2, where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this is a B, C here to the upside to go and complete number 2. Now you are forming from this pivot over here your third wave, right? Where you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, inside of your third wave. And this, what's falling here now to the downside, is your 5th wave, which has, there's your 5th wave targets, and you have the 1.618. So it does look in the short term that this structure is coming to an end. Okay. Just to keep it simple. But right, we have identified the levels. Cool, legends. That is basically what I'm looking at here on the smaller time frame for the price of Bitcoin. Let me go through some comments. Smash the like button. 𝗬𝗍, welcome to the live stream. Join to the legends. Dewald, what is CVD doing? Let's go and have a look at CVD. CVD is actually still showing me weakness here at the moment. Okay, it's still showing me weakness. It looks like it wants to come and claim the lows. It also looks like where's that price action? I need to go here onto the 1 minute time frame. Okay, have we tapped the 0.88? Okay, have we tapped the 0.88? Now that is the question. Yes, we have tapped the 0.88. And once you tap the 0.88, okay, you increase the probabilities of taking the low. You could always go back up to the 0.618, which we already did, and then come and claim the low, right? But the probabilities looking at the 1 minute time frame over here are still higher to come and claim the low because of the 0.88 tap over here. Right, so I mean, legends, these are usually, okay, the best levels to long when you are so close to a low. It looks like we're going to tumble down here. When we are so close to a low and you can count a bullish structure to the upside, okay, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a nice little 5-wave structure to the upside, especially if it's contracting or just a normal impulse to the upside, and you retrace as deep as the 786, okay, and not tap the 0.88, okay, that is your best longing opportunity, especially if you have a bullish structure to the upside, okay, because you have such a tight stop loss. When you tap the 0.88, I mean, there's a chance, the market is here to surprise us, but I do not like to trade against probabilities. I just don't like it, okay? I like to trade with probabilities. And if the probabilities are higher to claim the low after a 0.88, okay, yes, you have insane risk management. Make no mistake, you know, and there's a saying that says any trade is a good trade with good risk management, okay? But you need to pay yourself on the way up, right? If you start hitting resistance, there's your resistance. You start hitting resistance. If price moves up here and you did enter here by the 0.88, you need to pay yourself when you start hitting resistance. Okay. Then a little bit further up, you can see how we struggled to get through this order block over here. Really struggled. Right. But I think we're going down, legends. I think we're going down. Okay. But just a little bit of education is that the 786 should be your maximum target for a bullish structure that goes and claims the high again. Okay, you guys can now see that looks like this probability is now playing out. The 1-to-1 extension is slightly below. So I want to see how price is going to react once we hit this 1-to-1 extension over here. Okay, it's basically getting acceptance back above this pivot. And remember, no reaction. If I see this, no trade. If I see this, that looks interesting because I can have a tight stop loss. I can protect my position as price moves up. And if I do get stopped out, I don't lose any cash. Right. Okay, cool. So it looks like we are claiming the bottom ever so slightly, claiming the bottom. Not yet. Price is still struggling. It wants to fall. It doesn't want to fall. Needs to make up its mind. Okay, now the interesting thing is this little recent move here to the downside, okay? Because if we now forming a 5-wave structure to the downside, okay, you want to clearly count a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If price turns around over here, it could mean that this is still part of the corrective structure. A, B, C, you claim the high once again, and then you go back down. Okay, you're not allowed to tap the 0.618. Okay, so there's a chance for a bounce over here, legends. There's a chance. Okay, I don't like the 0.88, but if I'm counting this structure as follows. Okay, this is the structure that I'm looking at. But remember, your fourth wave can be larger than your second wave. Okay, so maybe that is now your last bullish case scenario, is to say that, well, if there was any chance of longing this zone, this is where you long. Okay, because you can still form a 3-wave corrective structure in a 4 and then go down for the 5th wave. Or 4 is done and now it's going to claim the low, which is now the 5th wave to the downside. It's one of these two at the moment, looking at this local structure here to the downside. Okay, and then what you want to do is you want to take a fib from the high to the low. Okay, your 4th wave is not allowed to tap the golden pocket. Not allowed to. It has to reject, and you can see that the 4th wave already tapped the 0.382. Common 4th wave target. Maximum target is the 0.5. If price moves up here and it taps the 0.618, then you increase the probabilities that even if you claim the low, you are going up, right, aggressively. Right, but usually the bounce is bullish. You get a higher low. But I mean, to have a higher low, because of that, doesn't make really technically sense. It looks like the probabilities, because of the taps there at the bottom, is higher to claim the low, right? Even if you come here and claim the high. Okay, cool, legends. So shorting opportunity was here by the 0.382. If price successfully moves to the upside, 50% Fibonacci, and I will treat the 50% Fibonacci as an SFP line. Okay, you have an order block that can definitely provide that resistance. And ideally, the fourth wave is not allowed to go into the territory of number 1. So it has to reject over here. It cannot cross this line. Okay, so it literally, if it finds continuation to the upside, it needs to tap the 50% to perfection, or even maybe just claim this high. Okay, and then it needs to fall down. Right. And if price obviously now just falls down from where it is, then that is basically 4 is done. And now we're making the fifth wave here to the downside. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can count 5 waves in the third wave. There's 5 waves in the second wave. Right. This does look like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All the 4 is just going to move, because the other thing is, legends, right? And this is why it's so important to take profits when you hit resistance, is because what if this is the scenario, okay, and we do this, right? That's why it's never easy in trading, okay? It's just never easy. What if this is an A, this forms a B flat, and then goes back up for a C flat? Okay, let me switch that on so everyone can see. Right, you could do that. So there's a longing opportunity, 1-to-1 extension, but you have to take profits when you start hitting resistance to the upside. Okay, it could be the fifth wave over here, but it could also be an ABC flat, and then you create the fifth wave, and then you get acceptance back above, right? If I see this over here, there's a higher chance to come and claim the highs. If I see this, I will definitely take aggressive profits when we hit this high, because it could be an ABC flat back to the upside. Hope that makes sense. Okay. So Dewald, AR hit the long-term 786. I did see that. I was looking at AR. My alarms went off. Oh, AR just needs to find some strength now at the moment, okay? And BTC obviously needs to play ball, but I did look at this. On the logarithmic scale, AR has now, guys, don't look at the trend lines because they go out of whack when I switch to the log scale. If AR can get acceptance, this is what I'm looking at. If AR can get acceptance back above the 786, this is where I have the 786 level. Okay, 786, my blue line. I just know the colors of my line. I don't even have to see the number. But if AR can get acceptance back above the 786, I will be interested. It's below my area of interest. But this is now where it becomes interesting, because on the regular scale, I have some trends that I'm tracking. Okay, so potentially I can get a better entry. So regardless of the 786, I have a trend that I'm tracking over here. So let's see if it can break trend. I'm interested, because then I can have great risk management and I don't have to wait for price to move higher before I make an entry. Okay, but at the moment, I'm sitting on my hands, not interested. It's not showing me strength just as yet. So, but it is hitting a very interesting area at the moment. And I mean, looking at AR here on the daily time frame, guys, this is what I said, okay? And we've been speaking about this for many weeks now. If you look at AR here on the daily time frame and you take a FIB from the low to the high, this has to be the maximum zone. I don't want AR to come and tap the 0.88. It's not an invalidation for a 1 and a 2, but it does decrease the probabilities. So ideally, I don't really want AR to come and tap the 0.88. It's fine if it dips below. You can see it's finding support here by the small little consolidation area. So if it can get acceptance back above the 786, that will be a nice little bullish sign. And there's the potential, and I know no one wants to talk about altcoins at the moment. Fuck the altcoins. You know, this is what everyone is saying. Okay. This could still be, until invalidated, it's not over. This could still be a 1, a 2, it starts consolidating sideways, and then it goes back up for an explosive third wave to the upside. And this is now in the maximum zone. It's the maximum zone. You don't really want AR to come down to $5.07. It will not invalidate the structure, even if we come down here, but it will significantly reduce the probabilities, because a second wave, okay, you don't really want to see a second wave tap the 0.88. Okay, it's not an invalidation, but I just don't like the probabilities that's going to stack up against AR over here. And then from a simplicity perspective, you guys can see if I zoom in here onto the 1 hour time frame, I'm still tracking this thing like a crazy maniac. Okay, I've got my resistance boxes that needs to break to the upside. I mean, first sign, okay, first resistance box. If AR can find strength, break the trend and break the resistance, flip it into support, break the next trend line. Okay, I want to see some stairs back to the upside. I want to see some stairs back to the upside. It needs to break these resistance areas. And obviously, if I am in a long year to the downside, profit-taking areas. Okay, need to pay attention. Right, so from a simplicity perspective, I'm looking at the break of that trend. I know I'm jumping here onto AR, but I know a lot of people have been tracking AR here with me, including myself, because it is now inside of the maximum zone. AR can also be traded on weeks and on Bluffin. Links down in the description. Super chat, right? Super chat. Sir, can you look at hype? Hype. I will look at hype in a moment. I just want to wrap up here on. I will open that up so long so I don't forget. Let's look at hype. I don't know if anyone has hype at the moment, right? No one has hype at the moment. Is it Hyperliquid or is it hype? Oh, it's the same ticker. Doesn't really matter. Right. Okay, let's open that up. And I can go and have a look at this in a moment. Right. Is this it? Anyways, we will go look at that in a moment. Right. Did we claim the low? We claimed the low. We claimed the low. I want to clean this up and just see. Yep, we claimed the low. Now the question is, are we going to get acceptance back above? What is CVD doing? CVD is not showing any strength. That's a little bit concerning for me. You know, when you start claiming lows, you want CVD to start showing strength, and it's not. Look at where the low is, right, legends? This is what I'm looking at. Look at this low, for example. Okay, this low is there, This low, okay, already got taken, but look at how far away it is. You want to see, you know, CVD down here. CVD needs to be down here. So it's a little bit concerning that we do not have bullish CVD showing some strength. Price is grinding down, taking the lows, and CVD is still hovering here, high above. It's not showing me a proper sign of strength at the moment. Can you get a successful SFP? There's a chance. Okay, but it doesn't, the probabilities doesn't look high. Okay, we do know that CVD has disappointed us in the past, so right, maybe price just wants to come and take this low. Okay, price wants to come and grab this low over here. Okay, and this is maybe where CVD will start tumbling down, is once we grab this low. Right, let's see. Cool, let me go through some more comments, and I will go through the super chat in a moment. Can you do say it's coming? XRP, hype, what's your view on price rocket without 5-wave structure? Price rockets without a 5-wave structure? Yes, that's basically the WXY scenario that I've just explained, Croatia. That's basically the WXY that I've just explained over here. So let's go back here onto the 1 hour time frame. So if price rocket, okay, if price claims the low, there's a chance that it could go back up and claim this high. I'm not talking about this high, okay? You need to see a 5-wave structure to claim that high. It's not going to claim it without a 5-wave structure unless we build a larger triangle over here and you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, and then you rock and roll to the upside. This scenario carries a 5% probability. Maybe 6, maybe 7, but it has a low probability. It will only start to increase in probabilities once the 4th wave is in. Right, and I mean, the fact that we are so close to this low will invalidate that structure. So the only structure that now makes sense is to say that, well, what if this is a WXY? And it could mean that this Y wave is not finished and you're now forming a larger 3-wave structure here to the downside to complete the Y over here, but you're still looking at the same levels that I've identified for a bounce. Whether this is a WXY, whether this is a WXY, I'm looking at the same levels to get the bounce for this wave and to claim the 95 area zone over here. Okay, so yes, price can rocket without making a 5-wave structure to the upside. Okay, but it is actually going to create, in actual fact, it is going to create a 5-wave structure because here you have, okay, let's draw this out. You have an A, B, C, 3-wave structure. Here you have a potential A, B, C. Okay, and we've now identified the C wave targets where we can get the bounce. And then you form, guess what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it claims, so yes, do I see that we can rocket? Yes, but this could be an X wave. 3, 3, 5. And that is a corrective structure. 3, 3, 5 wave corrective structure, which then equals your X wave. Grabbed all the liquidity above over here. This 5-wave structure makes the world bullish to say that, okay, we're going to make a 3-wave structure and continue momentum to the upside, only to create a larger Y wave to the downside, where you then have a WXY. Okay, but we will analyze, I'm not saying legends, the Y wave, remember the Y wave here to the downside does not have to claim the low, because the Y waves, these bad boys, okay, when you have a WXY, okay, Y can also form a triangle and then break out, okay. It can be an A, B, C, D, E, and it breaks out. Y can be a zigzag that does not take the low. Y can be, you know, it's just the Y waves are very, very complex corrective structures. So we will analyze, and it really is that simple, okay? If we do get momentum here to the upside, maybe we bounce at those levels that we've identified. Maybe we bounce at those levels. And we do form a 5-wave structure here to the upside. We're going to have support. We're going to have resistance areas where we can take more longing and shorting opportunities. I will be looking for short over here. I will most probably be looking for longs and shorts. During this entire structure, I can enter multiple shorts and longs to the downside and to the upside. Okay. I don't have to be a trader that catches the low and waits for the top to be claimed. Okay, you're going to wait very long for that trade to play out, and it might not even play out. I want to have multiple trading scenarios and scratch the dollars off the market. Okay, longing support and taking profits by the resistance. This could potentially be a day trade that turns into a swing trade. Okay, it could turn into a swing trade. Maybe you take a little bit of profits over here when you hit resistance. You leave some of the position open. Okay, and then you take more profits. You take more profits. Right, it just depends on your trading style. Have you back tested it? Do you have a trading plan? Do you have a profit taking and profit taking and stop loss rules built into your strategy. It's up to the trader at the end of the day. Okay. Right. Are we going to bear market? Are we going into a bear market? So, legends, we are day traders, okay? We are looking for longing levels and we are looking for shorting levels when you hit resistance, okay? Obvious resistance levels, resistance, resistance, okay? So I'm looking for shorts, I'm looking for shorts, I'm looking for longs in the areas that we've identified. But the question that got asked now, are we in a bear market, is a very, very difficult question to answer, okay? Let's look at the structure here on the daily time frame. Tadas? We all can agree that we have formed 5 waves to the upside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a chance that the bear market has already started. This is, the top is either there or the top is over there. We don't know, right? But from a structural perspective, you have a low and you have a high. Okay? The structure to the upside is impulsive. We know that for a fact. You have multiple 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5s in the structure. So it is an impulsive structure to the upside. From a probability perspective, okay, if you are correcting to the downside, there is always a high chance that you will find support and go and claim the high again. I do see that there are some people speculating on, well, what if this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is an A wave to the downside. This is A, then we're going to go up for a B, and then we're going to go down for a C wave, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is basically the bear market. This is the bear market. Okay, because now the other problem that you face with is that you have an impulsive wave to the upside. And usually when you create a 5-wave structure to the upside, you get a 3-wave corrective structure to the downside, and you continue momentum back to the upside, where you form a higher low. So there's a chance that we could form an ABC here to the bottom, but you could also form a flat. You could do that. Bull market's back, right? And you create a flat and you fall to the downside. The problem over here, there's a problem over here, okay? And it's a game of probabilities at the end of the day, is that the structure that we have formed here to the downside, okay, is not impulsive to start a bear market. You have to count impulsive structure. When you create a top, you have to count ideally a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. ABC, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You want impulses to the downside to start a bear market. This looks very, very corrective. It is chopping, 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 overlapping. The waves are overlapping. It's not impulsive structures. And we are now here, and there's already extreme fear in the market. To have fear, the amount of fear that we have over here, already tells me that there's a high chance in coming to claim the high again. Whether you count this as, okay, a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. So, and that's why I'm saying it doesn't matter how you count the structure. Okay, let me just clean this up, legends. So some Elliott wave counters are saying that this 1, 2 is not finished. This is the 4, 5 still that we need to the upside. Some Elliott wave counters are saying this was the top. It's done. Finito. Okay, we are doing an A wave here to the downside. We're going to go back up for a B. Can you guys see that it's the same target? Whether it's a B or whether it's a 5th wave, you expect to claim the high. So it doesn't really matter how you count the structure. You could potentially hit the exact same targets where I will be looking for shorts and the 5-wave people will be looking for shorts. The B-wave people will be looking for shorts. Doesn't matter how you count the structure. Okay. Yes, it could be finished over here. And this is an A wave to the downside. Okay. And it creates the B flat to the upside. And then when you create a B flat or a 5-wave, you expect to at least come and claim this low in a C wave. So the targets are exactly the same. Right. There is a bullish case scenario that no one wants to talk about. I see no one wants to talk about it, right? Everyone is bearish, especially when the sentiment is as low as it is at the moment. The one thing I just do want to point out is that, okay, let's look at this chart over here. Go on to the weekly. Make sure that I'm on the lock scale. Okay. If we are going to go into a bear market now, if we are going to go into a bear market right now, it will be the first time in history that this model will be broken. Okay, so you basically, we're still supposed to continue the bull market up until Q4 of this year, October, end of October, November this year. So if we're going to start a bear market here to the downside, okay, it's going to be the first time in history that we've started a bear market and we've invalidated this model. Okay. So it could be that we invalidate the model, we go into a bear market. Okay, we first maybe go down, we go up, we create that B flat or the 5th wave to the, or the final leg to the upside, then we go back down. But you know, because then you're going to invalidate this bear market as well. Because what if we go into a bear market right now that ends at the end of the year, and then we go into a bull market again once the bear market is supposed to start? Because now you have a 1, 2, 3 back to the upside. So guys, this is all just speculation at the end of the day. You have to consider the model from the initiation of Bitcoin. Up until now, this model has not been broken. We've had a 3-year bull cycle, 1-year bear market, 3-year, 1 year, 3-year, 1 year. Okay, this is just data. This is what the data is telling us. The model has not been broken since the initiation of Bitcoin. And this is where we are right now. Okay. This might be that little dip over there, and then we go and make another high. Okay, so maybe we dip and we go and make another high, and then we go into a bear market. Okay, right. So all I have to present to everyone is a model based on data. If you do not trust the data, okay, then maybe you have a trading plan. Okay, so there is a chance, there's always a chance that this time is going to be different. We're going to invalidate the model. We're going to go into a bear market. Okay, but I remember when we were here, everyone said this time is going to be different. I even remember during the bear market over here, this time is going to be different. We're going to $9,000. Okay, it's just every time was supposed to be different, and it hasn't been different yet. Will the model get invalidated at some point? Right? Maybe it will get invalidated at some point. But we have data that shows us a proven track record that shows us that there's still a potential for the bull market to continue up until end of October. Okay, right. So, and this is purely speculative based on data. So, almost going to claim that low over there. Almost there, almost there. I want to see how price is going to react once we claim that low. Let's jump in here onto the smaller time frames. Okay, now I want to see, okay, did we claim the low? Are we going to get the swing failure pattern? We're almost there. I want to set an alarm over here, right, so I don't miss out on this. Okay. Are we going to get the front run? I don't know, legends, if we're going to get the front running scenario, because it looks like that 1-to-1 extension is not playing ball at the moment. Okay, so if this is the 1-to-1 extension, A, B, Okay, 1-to-1, we're currently trading below the 1-to-1. Not interested. We're trading below the 1-to-1. Now I'm looking for a swing failure from the lows. Okay. If we just fall through, not interested. If we get acceptance back above, I'm interested. Okay. So please don't be that person that just opens up a long position and adds and adds and adds to their position and hope for the price to turn around. Because I can tell you guys now, as price is falling here to the downside, if you are a person that is now opening up positions as price is falling, where are you putting your stop loss? You are not managing your risk. You are not being Mr. Brave Star trying to catch the bottom over here, because it could literally waterfall here to the downside and liquidate your account. Okay, please don't be that person, because I still see a lot of people do that. Okay, you have to wait for price to stop. You have to see the reaction. Okay, now that looks better. CVD is now finally falling a little bit to the downside. Okay, finally, CVD is now falling to the downside. It's not showing strength just as yet. Right, cool. Let's see how price plays out over here. Let me know, because of that super chat, no smelly fingers. Yes, Mr. SGS, no smelling fingers. I've opened up and down. Dewald, every Bitcoin cycle does the opposite of what people expect. Exactly, right? And I think it never ceases to amaze me that based on this model that we have over here, okay, every time people said this time is going to be different, and it hasn't been different. It just hasn't been different. Okay, based on data and the model, we actually have a higher probability that the bull market is still going to continue, because based on what technical data are people saying we're going to fall down? Based on what? We don't have data that says we're going to do this. We only have this model that has been respected many times. So based on the model, we actually have a higher probability that even with the dip here to the downside, we're going to still continue the bull market to the upside, because at least we have data that states that there's a higher chance in finding, maybe we find support here above the highs, right? You're climbing the stairs to the upside. You're climbing the stairs. Okay. Can you guys see you're climbing the stairs? That was a nice little impulsive wave, but you're climbing the stairs to the upside, and maybe we find support and we climb some more stairs here to the upside. I don't know where the target is going to be for Bitcoin. No one knows, right? We can only speculate on targets. But from a timing perspective, it looks like based on data, it's not done. So could this be the fifth wave? There's a chance, but based on data, it says it still needs to continue. Okay, right, legends. And I mean, remember, okay, wants to go and claim that low. I think what's interesting about the move here to the downside, legends, is that, can you guys see this? Okay, let me zoom in. What is very interesting about the move here to the downside is that this move had much higher volume than this dump here to the downside, which shows me that selling pressure is getting exhausted. Okay. So very interesting. I just want to see if are we inside that fifth wave box that I've identified. Let's reverse this. This is fifth wave boxy over here. Okay, and we've just tapped the bottom of this box, but the 1.618 is also a fifth wave target. But we are getting a reaction over here. But I mean, holy crap, we are so close to this low. So close. Might as well just claim it, right? Okay, what if, how crazy would that be for price to turn around from exactly where it is right now and not claim the low? It would just be absolutely crazy. Okay, because it is tapping a fifth wave target. But I mean, it would be so strange not to claim this low and have such a deep retracement. Okay. Are getting the reaction. Just want to see on the 5-minute time frame. We are getting the reaction. You can see how we're getting the reaction at the 1.382. We are getting the reaction, but it's just very strange to come this close to the low and not claim it. It's just very strange. So, I mean, if there's a front running going to happen over here, this is where it needs to happen, right? I think this will surprise a lot of technical traders because the retracement is so deep and then you don't claim the low and you start moving back up. I mean, how crazy would that be? But I mean, for me, the probabilities are higher to claim the low, at least come and tap the 1.618. Okay, right, legends. I mean, you need to do you, right? Cool. Dewald, just an FYI, that low was just swept on the CME chart. Okay, very interesting. Very interesting. Let's go look at the CME chart. This one. Let's go have a look. Nope, has not been swept. Okay, has not been swept. You need to sweep this little pivot over here. Let me switch on my magnet so I get it exactly where it needs to be. You need to tap that line before it will be closed. Okay, and that line, is that line in alignment? I want to go back here. Let's go to the 1 hour. That line, it's so difficult to analyze a chart with all these damn gaps inside of it. Okay, but $77,900, $77,000, 300. Okay, it's in the zone. It's in the zone over here. It's in the zone. That CME gap is, yeah, very close to the 1.618. Very, very, very close. So, you know, guys, you can use the 1.618 as an SFP line to get a better entry, but you could also be patient and just sit on your hands and wait for price to show you strength. Okay. And you can also get in at the retracement. Remember what happened over here. Okay. We tap the 1-to-1 extension. You come back for a retracement. That is where you get in. You put your stop loss above the high. You fall down. You can wait for price to do this and wait for the retracement. That is where you get in with your stop below the low. There's many ways to get into this trade. Okay. Right. Yes. Good point. Where is your weekly naked point of control? I do have that level here as well. Weekly targets. Let's go. Right. That's a little bit further down. The weekly point of control. There was something very interesting about the weekly point of control. I want to go back here onto the 4-hour time frame because I did spot myself a little bit of confluence. Okay. That 1.236 is also in confluence with the weekly point of control. So it is a strong area. If price slices through here, this is a strong area. Weekly point of control, 1.236. It is a C wave target. Okay, so very interesting zone if we do not successfully swing failure from the low. Okay, and that will finally close that CME gap that everyone is looking for, plus a little bit more. Okay, but $67,000, 430 looks like a nice little reversal. Do we have any? We won't have. Wanted to see if we have any hidden bullish divergence. We are building up some bullish divergence, okay? Especially if we claim this low, we will be building up some hidden bullish divergence. It's not something that I trade, but I do look at it from time to time. It's just interesting to note. But guys, you know, from a highest probability, this is the zone. Make that green. That is the zone. The only thing that concerns me about this area is I see a lot of people are keeping an eye on this zone. So maybe if we do get there, okay, the market makers are going to make it difficult. Maybe it gets choppy, right? It makes those triple bottoms. It gets choppy. It's difficult to get in. You keep on getting stopped out and then it starts turning around. So that could also be a market maker strategy, is to make it difficult to get in, right? it would be strange to come down this low and get acceptance back above the 1-to-1 extension, and then off we go, right? But it's still on the cards. We have tapped the fifth wave target. It's not an easy one, right? It's not an easy one. But with good risk management, you can get in, right? Hyper claimed. Dewald, voice today tells you denial has catch up. Denial has catch up. Yeah, I mean, people are deep underwater with their altcoin portfolios, including myself, right? We've been buying up the dips. Spot bags are not looking great, but I'm not in any swing trades at the moment. I'm not in any swing trades. Okay, I do like this zone the most. This looks like a really, really, really good zone. And this could even be the zone that takes us to the all-time high. Oh, not the all-time high, this high at $95,000, right? Let's not let's not speculate on a bull market just yet to the upside, okay? If this zone does not hold, you might get acceptance back above the 1-to-1 extension, not claim the damn low, and then it rock and rolls. This could be the front-running zone. But don't forget about this level. 1.618, $70,000, 555. Do not forget about this level. And these are the most important levels to the downside. Okay. To build up a nice little swing trade to potentially even come and claim this high once again. Okay, cool. I want to leave that boxy over there. I want to see what is happening here on the smaller time frame. Can it be? Can it be that we get, I mean, look at this, legends. Did not claim that damn low. Okay, and this is a fifth wave target, but it's also a B flat target. Okay, just saying. Okay, guys, we've mapped out this scenario. Let me draw it out again. This could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, or 5. It goes to our area of interest. The fifth wave can extend there to the downside, right? Where this is now forming an A, B, C. So if price recovers here to the upside, okay, I will be looking at a swing failure from the highs or a rejection from this order block. A simple trading scenario over here is if you are speculating that the fourth wave is not in, what I usually do is I take a fib from number 2 to the low over here. Okay, and when I enter in this zone, I put my stop loss above the 0.618 because the probabilities are higher. Once you tap the 0.618, is no more fourth wave. The fourth wave was already done over there. This is your fifth wave, and you're going to move up. You're going to start moving up. So you want to get stopped out in this zone. Okay, so that is another strategy that I do sometimes use if I'm speculating on a corrective structure still to the upside. Okay, this is where you need to yes, 50% is where you need to reject. Okay, you cannot tap the 0.618 because that will invalidate the fourth wave. Okay, and your fib actually needs to be from that pivot because this is part of the corrective structure. Right, but I mean, there is still a chance to go up and reject again and take the lows. And I think CVD is going to tell us the story. It's going to show us strength or weakness. Okay, and it does look like it has a high chance to start creating berry CVD again. You can already see how aggressively CVD is moving up against these pivots. Okay, it looks like it could be forming berry CVD again and reject at one of these pivots. Okay, so just pay attention to CVD over here. Right. I've hyperliquid. Dewald, can you look if AVAX? Right, I want to go and analyze that altcoin from the super chat over here. Let's do this quickly. I mean, I'm not sure if Hyper has more data somewhere else. Hyper US. Let's see. We've got CoinX. We've got crypto. I just want to see which one has the most amount of volume. Okay, let's go have a look at all of them. Right, because, I mean, this one has almost nothing. That one looks terrible. 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 Okay, this is the only one, the KuCoin one. Okay, if you want me to have a look at Hyper, there's not much to analyze on this structure. Okay, this is your only support that you have. So this is where you want price to start slowing down and finding support for potential bounce back to the upside. Okay, you do have a trend that's forming over here. There's just not much else for me to analyze. This is your only support based on the data that I have in front of me. This is the zone that you want to hold. I don't know where this price action came from. Okay, so not much to analyze. This is the zone that needs to hold to at least come and claim these highs. If this zone doesn't hold, I don't know how far it's going to fall because I don't know what happened here. Okay. Unfortunately, it's hype, not hyper, right? Okay, let's go try that again. Hype. Is it this? It's the same, hype, but it says hyperliquid. Okay, what is the ticker? Rave, ZA, what is the ticker? Dewald, it's hype, not hyper. But I get the same ticker. Hype. USDT. It gives me hyper. All of them are hyper liquid. Unless I'm smoking my socks, legends. Unless I am smoking my socks. Okay. Hype. Right. It's the correct one. Okay. Okay. It's the same. This is even worse. Right. It's hype that I've typed in. Hyper liquid. Okay. Same. Okay, you did the correct one. Thank you so much. Okay, so yes, I did type in hype. It comes up as hyperliquid, right? There's not much to analyze. I can't do technical analysis on this, legends. It's not much to analyze over here. Right, close without saving. You're good, Dewald. You can move on. Thank you so much. Okay, cool, legends. We are currently getting the bounce here to the upside. It is very concerning not to claim the low. Here where I have the alarm set is the low, right? That is the low. There's a high chance in claiming that low. Where's it? Okay, I'm here on the damn 5-minute time frame. There's a high chance in claiming this low. It would be very strange for price to just rock and roll here to the upside and invalidate another low to the downside. Okay, the probabilities are still higher, and it's just a game of probabilities, okay, that this could potentially still be an A, B, C to the upside to complete your fourth wave. Remember, your fourth wave is not allowed to go into the territory of your first wave, so it has to reject here by the highs. So this is where I will be looking for another shorting opportunity at the highs. Okay, and if I have to stay neutral without being bullish or bearish from a neutrality perspective, your invalidation is the 0.618, because your fourth wave is not allowed to tap the 0.618, and if you do tap the 0.618, you are going to take the low of 1 or the high of 1. You're not allowed to go into the territory of 1. Okay, so you want the fourth wave to reject over here. And, well, sorry, you should actually take your FIB from that low. Right. Why? You might be asking yourself, why are you changing your FIB, Dewald? Why? Why, oh, why are you changing your FIB? Okay, let's go back here onto the 5-minute time frame. The reason I'm changing my FIB is because now I'm speculating on this being a corrective structure. So you have to take your FIB from 2 to 3. Okay, and if this is an A, B, I do not take my FIB from the B wave. So it can still reject here by the 50% Fibonacci, but basically it gets acceptance back above this high over here. I will be looking for a short in this zone. My stop loss will most likely be by the 0.618. If I get stopped out, then I know that probabilities are starting to shift, where this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, done. And then we're going to start moving back to the upside. especially if you tap this zone over here, the golden pocket. Okay. I mean, how frustrating that we're not going to claim that, well, that we're not claiming the low just as yet. Okay. We don't have any bearish. Oh, we do have some bearish CVD. I mean, you have to really zoom in to see this. Okay. There's a little bit of a sign of weakness over here. Can you guys see this? From this candle, okay, you have lower highs and you have higher high on blue. Ever so slightly, the target is the low. So price could continue here to the upside, and maybe it's going to build up more bearish CVD as price continues here to the upside. Okay, CVD might shoot up and start forming some bearish CVD. Okay, confirming that you can swing failure from this high. If it's not just going to fall down now and claim the low. Very interesting. Very interesting. Stupid me got into that crypto better trade BTC longing. Alts the cycle is stupid, I think. Yes, I mean, you know, legends, I do always say that I do 99% of my day trading on Bitcoin. Bitcoin. Up and down, short, long, you don't care where price is. All you want to long is support, and you want to take profits at resistance. Like this trade that I mentioned this morning in the Legends Pro community. That was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful short. And it even came to claim the lows in an ABC. Short, okay? And then if you didn't get in over here, the retracement. And there's something very interesting about this retracement, okay? Remember about the probabilities that I often speak about. So if I take this scenario out so we can just see the lines nicely over here, okay? The probabilities do not always play out. Look at this. You tap the 0.88, which increases the probabilities that you're going to take the high. Tap the 0.88 and we fell down in a 5-wave structure. So here you can see, okay, this probability did not play out. But you have to acknowledge that it's just a probability. So if 70% of the time when you tap that area, it claims the low or the high, you have to trade with the probability, because the other 70% of the time, it is going to go and claim the high, but it still presents an opportunity with good risk management. Okay, but I mean, this was an A, B, C. You had the retracement back up to the 0.88 and you got the move here to the downside. But here is the probability. The 30% of the time it did actually move down lower. Right. And you know, and that is something that could potentially even play out on AR, because I have seen it play out on DOT. Okay, if I go here onto the daily time frame, and this is something that, you know, I've spoken about already. Dot, Mr. Dot did this. It turned around just before it claimed the low, and it did this back to the upside. So although there's a high probability that you're going to come and claim the low, it's not an invalidation for a second wave. But there's a 70% chance once you claim the 0.88 that it's not a second wave. So we trade probabilities at the end of the day with good risk management. Okay, right. Cool, legends. Remember, if you'd like to come and trade with me, links are down in the description. I've got Weeks and Bluffin. All you need is an email and a password, and you can come start trading, right? The more you trade on Bluffin, the more money gets airdropped into your account. And then on Weeks, you get that amazing 50% features deposit when you deposit money into your features account. Okay, someone asked for umbrella. Let's go and have a look at umbrella. I do have a bag of umbrella. Okay. Oh, do I even want to look? I don't know if I want to look. I have a spot bag of umbrella. 14%. Oh my God. What a nightmare. You guys can see where my entry is. This is my average entry on umbrella. Okay, it's it looks terrible. It's back in the bear market. It has taken the lows. I have my trend. My alarm is set. Only when we break the trend will I maybe consider adding a little bit to this position. Okay, this is my entry. Okay, I did not cash out. I still have a little bit of a spot bag over here. Okay, this is my average entry. We have altcoins are getting annihilated at the moment. Okay, the sign of strength will be getting acceptance back above these lows. Okay, if Umbrella can find its way back above inside of the zone, I would say, okay, now it has a chance to go and build a bullish structure back to the upside. Right, this is just, it's just tanking. And it was, we all know that it's high risk, degen, small part of your portfolio. I mean, I have a tiny, tiny, tiny position compared to my entire portfolio in an Umbrella. Okay, very, very, very tiny. It looked so promising. It broke the trend. It formed that little bullish pennant. It looked like it wanted to rock and roll to the upside. It didn't. It got rejected at resistance, and now it's just tumbling down. It is what it is. Some you win, some you lose. And we did highlight this as an absolute degen token. I remember when I bought a position over here, it actually moved the price. That scared the crap out of me. And I was just like, okay, I'm not buying anymore. If my entry moves the price, I'm not going to buy anymore. Okay, that's how low the liquidity is, and that's how small the market cap is. So at the moment, the only time is acceptance back above the lows. It can dip, and maybe you want to DCA at these levels. It's completely up to you, right, legends? Please do not go in with your entire portfolio on these type of tokens. It's high risk. It's like serious degen over here, right? You wait for the acceptance back above. This is strength. This is weakness at the moment. So yeah, it's not looking great. Umbrella is taking an absolute dump here to the downside. Right, cool. Some still keeping, maybe not for all alts. It's over. Is it over for all alts? I don't think it's over for all the alts. Okay, AR is still keeping its bullish structure. It still has a long way to go to invalidate its bullish structure. Okay, you never know what happens after 1 week. Maybe all alts will be in red and our spot bags will be liquidated. We pray that one day maybe we can come back at even. I mean, yeah, legends. I mean, the altcoins are getting absolutely destroyed. And I wouldn't be surprised if dominance is shooting up over here, and that's what's causing the altcoins to bleed. Okay, yes, I mean, dominance is getting some strength over here. Not much, but I mean, when dominance goes up, okay, you guys know the deal. When dominance goes up, when dominance goes up, Bitcoin goes down, alts bleed like there's no tomorrow. They bleed, right? Bitcoin is falling, dominance is going up, not good for the altcoins. But legends, if we do successfully find support in one of these zones that I've highlighted, let's say we fall down here, we find some choppiness, we get supported back to the upside, there is a chance that this momentum here to the upside could potentially go back to $95,000. There's a chance that it could. And maybe, that will give us a little bit of relief from the altcoin bags. We'll see. We'll see how that plays out. Okay. Please check Doge and ETH. Legends, I've unfortunately run out of time. Not sure. Okay, I think I forgot to switch on my light this time. I've unfortunately run out of time. Make sure that you smash up that like button. Hit subscribe for future notifications. Have yourselves an amazing day. I've gone through all the levels, all the scenarios that I'm seeing over here. There's not much else to discuss. I mean, altcoins are just bleeding at the moment. So, legends, have yourself a super fantastic day. And until the next one, cheers for now.